The day is the 17th day of February 2025. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to KBC. Time to know what is shaping up the news conversation in the country at this hour. My name is Njue. My colleague on the sign language interpretation bit is Brian Muraru. Many thanks indeed for joining us. For comment you are watching us from, we are live on all our social media spaces, including our KBC digital app. We begin our live coverage from the Deputy President's residence. Had a health summit together with the Council of Governors, and they had a lot to talk about, also including the diminished funding from US aid. Let's first of all cross over to the Deputy President residence and have her here.
That is available beyond the is available for everyone who has registered. Number two, we are reviewing the means testing tool. The ministry will be giving us progress of where we are. In the next few days, we will have a new means testing tool to make sure that the tool is accurate, objective, and helps us leverage on all the fundamentals to make sure that we provide quality health care to the people of Kenya. That means testing tool will be informed by data, and there is integrate critical data to be used in the revised means testing tool, which has been revised following the feedback from members of the public and stakeholders that we have received over the 5 months. And therefore, going forward, we expect, once that process is complete, we expect a more energetic targets of the UHC program is to make sure that every citizen of Kenya has a medical insurance cover. It is possible, and we are focused in making that possibility is realized in the shortest time possible. In terms of other interventions that have been made, especially with the financing of the program, I think there will be, at the end of the meeting, we'll be announcing the measures that the national government has taken through the supplementary budget, which will be presented before the National Assembly tomorrow, to make sure that some of the feedback we have received about financing.
That is Deputy President Professor earlier on while speaking at the health summit that has encompassed also the Council of Governors in regards to taking stock on the health situation in the country. Among what he has talked about is the collaboration with county government, and especially in the wake of diminished US government funding after US aid froze some billions to take stock on what exactly they have been funding. Talking about 5 million Kenyans enrolled in SHA and also enjoying primary health care. My colleague Kamche Menza is currently on that beat in regards to what the Deputy President had to say, and now joins us with this report. Good afternoon, Kamche Menza. Kindly bring us up to speed.
Troy, like you said, we are coming to you live from the Deputy President's residence here in Karen, Nairobi, where that is the tent that is hosting the leadership in the healthcare system in the country. Of course, the Deputy President being the chief guest, leading the Council of Governors as well as the Ministry of Health in deliberating on some of the issues that are affecting the healthcare system. Remember, it is 5 months since the rollout of and there are a number of issues that have come up. So in his own words, the Deputy President said that this particular meeting is, of course, to upscale and firm up with regards or regarding the turbulence that has been witnessed in the delivery of various health hospitals or healthcare facilities. And in that particular brief that we've listened from the Deputy President, he has mentioned that 19.5 million Kenyans in the new healthcare system, that is the Social Health Authority or Taifa Care. But he said there are challenges still in the contributions. Not so many of them are doing the primary health care. He says all these who have registered are able to access it. But remember, this is not a meeting of the national government. The county governments are represented here. Of course, health is a divorce. Realize that many of the concerns or the challenges are being faced by the county governments. So what we have seen from the county governments, that is the chair of the Council of Governors, indicated a number of issues, including the issue of the implementation or services or services that are being taken back to the counties in terms of healthcare. To the devices that are used in the claims processing, and they said that the devices usually have a downtime in so many of the health facilities. So the issue there, those are some of the challenges for what they are doing now is actually to highlight on some of the challenges, including the transition of services in the social health insurance. They indicate that 5,380 claims processing devices failure, and they were requesting for an expansion of those devices. The other issue was on the implementation of the capitation for the level 2 and level 3 health facilities. The issue on the the unpaid bills include roughly 7.5 billion that the county is saying if they are not settled, they continue to paralyze services at the county government. The primary health care fund also they indicate that they need to be fully implemented. There is an issue that even the Deputy President, as he did the opening remarks, talked about, that was with regards to the funding that comes from the donor or the development partners, or the rather Kenya or African countries mostly receive from the partners, including the US government funds that right now we understand, or as it was said over the United States, that they will be pulling down some of this funding, is that they're saying that there is going to be a big impact, of course, on the health system. But he said that they will not allow that particular reduction of funds to Kenya to affect the healthcare system. So that is an issue that as well the county government said has already started affecting. There was an indication here in terms of the over-reliance on donor funding that 11,000 healthcare workers that are being financed by the US government have been affected, as well as a disruption such as the one on the HIV. Now you will understand, or rather some of the statistics that we have received from the Ministry of Health is that 1.4 million Kenyans live with HIV on the antiretroviral medication. So those are some of the people that will be affected. Some of the interventions that they are seeking to have or be brought back include the continuity of that particular issues that the county government says need to be addressed by the national government. So right behind me, that is the tent that is hosting the leadership, of course, from the county governments as well as the national. The Ministry of Health also is available, or rather is also present in that particular meeting to try and address some of the challenges. Remember, it's only 5 months since SHA was rolled out, and they're saying that there's going to be a review of the means testing system, of course, to ensure that more people are being brought and they'll be using the data, or they're improving on the data. So basically, we are here. That is a closed-door meeting. We are just waiting out here. Once the resolutions, and of course we'll be able to understand better on the way forward, as this is just a stock-taking meeting, the challenges facing the country or the healthcare system, as well as the way forward that the leadership will come out with once they're in studio.
Chair live from the Deputy President residence in Karen there. Remember, the health summit that is also encompassing the Council of Governors is currently under it down for us in regards to that, and especially the challenge that we have in regards to the 11,000 workers under the US funded programs and the 1.4 million Kenyans who require the HIV drugs. But no disruptions. They are working on a way to ensure that there will be no disruption in healthcare in the country, the TB patients as well as health programs in the country. From the Deputy President resident, and of course, detailed report in regards to that story in our subsequent bulletin. But moving on, President William Ruto has led the country in mourning the late Johnson Nzioka, the national chairperson of the Kenya Primary Schools Heads Association. He passed away Sunday evening. The president has described the late Nzioka as a visionary and distinguished educationist who advocated for the welfare of head teachers in the country.
Johnson Nzioka was last publicly seen in new classrooms at Donholm Primary, where he served as the head teacher. Nzioka died on Sunday in a horrific accident in Athi River along the Nairobi-Mombasa highway. President William Ruto has taken to social media Nzioka as a visionary and devoted educationist who defended head teachers and groomed upright and industrious students. Teachers Service Commission Chief Executive Officer Dr. Nancy Nzioka as one of the most respected academic stalwarts across the country, adding that he will be dearly missed by the teaching fraternity and the entire education sector. The late Johnson Nzioka was elected the chairperson of the Kenya Primary School Heads Association on 3rd March 2020. Time News, I'm Christine Matunda.
Nzioka, rest in peace. It's not once or twice that we have hosted him here on KBC in regards to matters education. But we urge to guide their children to make career choices based on passion, interest and talents in addition to the subjects they thrive in academically. Speaking during the 2025 held at the Kenya Methodist University in Meru County, Deputy Vice Chancellor Eliab Skronsi emphasized the importance of choosing career paths that align with what students are passionate about. Students from the region attended the forum.
But you know, as a high school students, they need to be guided. It's very important to have career guidance for our high school students and high school and maybe Form 4 leavers. There are opportunities like scholarships. Well-wishers are out there. Opportunities even in the global world where people can be able to pursue their careers under scholarship.
We want them to start their career path knowing how far they can capabilities. They are here together with their teachers who know them and will continue providing career guidance.
Still remaining with the education bit, over 200 primary and secondary school students in Lamu West, Lamu County have been gifted bicycles to help ease their daily journey to school. The generous donation provides much needed relief to students who had previously walks of several kilometers each day to attend classes. The donors highlighted that unreliable transportation has been a major barrier to regular school attendance. Importance of removing the strain of difficulty commutes, ensuring that children can access education more easily. Parents of the students who received bicycles expressed their heartfelt appreciation for improved academic performances.
Wanapata changamoto upate mtoto yoamka saa 10 za asubuhi wa kike kufunga safari ya kilomita 7 ili kufika shule. Na hizi ndio changamoto ambazo husauliwa sana kama huko katika miji mikubwa.
In this partnership we are working to enhance sexual education and rights for our adolescent girls in school, and we are envisioning partnering to make sure that mobility is not a challenge to.
Nikipiga mfano kwa huyu mtoto Lea, kutoka mahali anatoka nyumbani kwangu mpaka shuleni ni hatua ya kitu kilomita kama 5-6 hapo, na inabidi atoke mapema sana na giza, so anakuwa sometimes anakuwa bado ile inamweka stress kwamba hiyo kurauka mapema kwa sababu ni safari ndefu na inabidi atembee, so itampunguzia pia stress kwa sababu ataweza kuamka na wakati, na ile bicycle itamfanya pia itamsaidia najua hiyo itaboost pia hali ya masomo yake.
And from student empowerment to women empowerment, Mothers in Tabaka Ward, South Mugirango, Kisii County have received gas cylinders from Human Lives Foundation through a credit facility model. The women, who are members of Chama Gas Project, bought the cylinders filled with gas at 3,500 required to pay back 4,500 shillings over the next 5 months. A total of 800 households are targeted to benefit under the project, which promotes the use of environmental conservation.
The environment first, for you to use firewood, you're cutting trees. So when you cut trees, what is the implication? Then we don't have rains, we are not receiving. And then in terms of the health benefits, there's what you find pregnant women, because what the impact to the ladies is that if they don't have, they have to maybe stay at home for 3 hours. So these women also need to work. So what we want to do is help them.
Switching gears to matters health now, where Nakuru County Government, in partnership with a non-governmental organization and DSW Germany, has launched a new youth empowerment center in Njue Hospital aimed at providing youth-friendly services and raising awareness on sexual and reproductive health rights. According to the Nakuru County Dr. Daniel Wainaina, the hub will help address HIV prevalence in the county by providing the youth with the necessary tools and make informed choices about their lives and health. From the National Syndemic Disease Control Council showed that Nakuru County recorded a rise in HIV infections from 58,000 in 2023 to 65,144.
We can positively influence health-seeking behavior. In this space, young people will feel welcome and supported.
One of the things that this center is going to do is to offer counseling for all those youths who have challenges. They are invited to come. Counselors that are youth themselves, and they're able to help them to chart their way and to guide them in life and life skills.
Youth-friendly service provision is a key component of support that young people are looking for to be able to make meaningful decisions around their lives, and also to make choices about their reproductive health.
Youth-friendly services are important factors, especially also to reduce teenage pregnancy here in the county. And I would like to say that you need to know that you can count on us for sure.
Moving on, over 96 students from various colleges are set to benefit from a World Bank funded property rights of 5 billion shillings. The Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry is implementing this initiative Innovation Ecosystem Scholarship Program SKIES. Enhance the innovation ecosystem infrastructure by building the capacity of 13 Kenyan intermediaries, including incubators, technology bootcamp providers.
This platform is called the Career Support Platform, which has 3 modules: the admin module, the career scholarship module, and also we have the industry. As we work with industries to create the attachment and internship programs. We have developed a web app where you can monitor what is happening in the farm even when you are far away, and that means that even if control them from where you are. We have also developed a plug and play system. So other than that farm, now we have gone commercial, or rather we are planning on going commercial.
So far we've capped about, I think, 35 projects, and all of the projects they're worth their salt. We'll find a space within the IP system, and think out of this exercise, many will now benefit from intellectual property rights, and now they'll be able to license some of money to the big players, and they'll still benefit from it.
Now, my Mahio traffic commandant Patrick Leweri has cautioned motorists operating the Narok Mai Road against overlapping and overloading to prevent accidents. Speaking during a joint prayer session that brought together police officers operating the Narok Mai route, Leweri underscored the significance of seeking divine intervention carnages. Further, he urged drivers to ensure road safety regulations are observed.
Leo tumekuwafahamisha kuna Mungu juu mbinguni, na lazima tufuate njia la Mwenyezi Mungu, ndio zile maaccident mnaona zinatokea kwa kuhusu kuangalia barabara.
Pastoralists in Laikipia County are set to turn a cactus menace into a fortune thanks to a groundbreaking project transforming the invasive plant into processed. Joint research by Jomo Kenyatta University and Florida University of USA has successfully converted cactus for livestock feed. The scientists are optimistic that the breakthrough could solve the ongoing battle against Optia streetka, a cactus species that has wreaked havoc on goods. Local communities are hopeful that turning cactus into feed will boost livestock farming and have urged the government to support large-scale production of cactus pellets in the region.
Chochote kitakachokula inaathiri, inaweka hii mishindano zinaingia kwa roho, kwa kutoka kwa kimemero kuteremka mpaka kwa tumbo kitu ina.
And the results are really promising. We are able to find out that the goats that fed on pellets together with the hay were able to gain more weight, even compared to those that were grazing on natural rangelands.
We felt that it to be able to then make use of the invasive cactus, because that sounded like a much more better management strategy.
Now, a section of educationists is calling on the government and society to promote vernacular languages in learning institutions and revival of a reading culture among young people. During a book launch at Zitek University County, scholars noted that teaching in vernacular could enhance comprehension for learners who struggle to understand English.
We have reached a phase where our society has pushed us to look for other things other than the knowledge we seek from books. But soon we will go back to books.
Ni rahisi sana kujifunza kitu ukiwa unatumia lugha ambayo wewe mwenyewe unaijua vizuri kushinda lugha zile zingine. Sio kwamba unajifunza somo na unajifunza pia lugha linafundishwa. Kuna haja ya serikali na jamii nzima kujaribu kuweka lugha zetu za kiasili kwenye pedestal tuseme, ambayo inaweza kuzitumia.
Very well, at about 24 minutes past the top of the hour, we are due for a fast break. But when we come back, our stories, then we do business, and later on the latest from the world of sports.
No fancy meals anymore? Son is not at home?
I don't mean to bother you. I have something to ask you.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did you know my home address?
If she doesn't retake or do the makeup exam, she might not be able to graduate. I'm so anxious, and I don't know what to do, and I suddenly thought of you. They're young. Young people's time is for wasting. Challenge the limit.
Mambo gani haya? Mambo kama mtu mfupi
Around mwangalie.
Sasa huyu amenitoa kwa samba kuja kunitrip na naniweka alafu kuna watu. Umakasereka.
No, stakabadhi ya kupita kwa airport kama una travel.
Sema turubena nyakiraju.
Lubena.
Nyakiraju.
Nyakilalu.
Kabisa sasa mimi nataka ile nguo. Ukishaivaa. Unapiga Vivian, sio mpe concern. Wajui eh?
Sorry gani wewe na nyatia anatoka kama na nyemelea.
Nene.
In the name of the Most High Jah Rastafari, my good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest, each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra niceness of reggae music,
extra dose of
nice.
We have to do it twice.
We are going to be taking you all over. There was a lot happening over the weekend.
As music enthusiasts gathered at the Carnival Ground, the annual Bob Collymore International Jazz Festival.
I wrote a song with Mordecai from the band.
Thank you so much, Afrima. Shout outs to all the beautiful ladies.
The young generation awakens on 154, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, conversation.
It's art, it's culture.
Movies, gossip and trends, sports, drama.
We bring you a vibe like no other. Stay
informed, inspired, entertained, and most of all, refreshed. We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
No fancy meals anymore? Son is not at home?
I don't mean to bother you. I have something to ask you.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did you know my home address?
If she doesn't retake or do the makeup exam, she might not. I'm so anxious and I don't know what to do. And I suddenly thought of you.
Students are all wasting their time.
They're young. Young people's time is for wasting. Challenge the limit.
Welcome back to KBC Lunchtime News. Moving on, police officers in Isiolo have called on the youth to provide that could aid in the arrest of criminals and help curb crime, radicalization and drug trafficking in the region. Speaking during the International Day for the Prevention of Violent Extremism at the Isiolo Police Grounds, community cooperation is key to enhancing security and safeguarding young people from falling into criminal activities. Officers from the Peace Corps Department, led by Inspector Julius Mutabari, assured residents that any information shared with security agencies would be treated with the utmost confidentiality. We do apologize for that technical hitch in that report, but it will be available in our subsequent bulletin, not forgetting our social media spaces as well. Health has raised concern and alarm over the rising cases of substance abuse among the youth in the country. Principal Secretary for Public Health and Professional Standards, Mary Mourning, has singled out nicotine as the most commonly abused substances. Speaking in Kiambu County, the Principal Secretary warned that drug abuse has severe, including addiction, heart disease, and cancer. She emphasized that the continued abuse of allowed substances threaten the country's future and called to combat the vice.
Suffering because of use and misuse of drugs and substance, and most importantly, nicotine. Right now, we have new nicotine products in the market. We have vapes, we have pouches, we have electric cigars that are very appealing even to the young children who are in primary school. So we are asking the church, and that is why I'm here today. We are asking for collaboration to preach the good word to the people in Mashinani to get to know the health risks when they take.
Let's tilt the lens and focus on business. Startups should embrace exhibitions, which are powerful tools in access. According to the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Nairobi Chapter CEO Christine Mwende, who says exhibitions offer a unique platform for entrepreneurs to showcase their innovation and products while connecting investors and key partners.
The reason as to why we are all here is to create sustainable, innovative solutions where every entrepreneur, every business person gets an opportunity and a prime opportunity to showcase, advertise their hair market, whether you're in the skincare production, whether you're in the hair production of solution or any type.
Give startups the opportunity to be able to do business in a premium location at a very low cost.
Apologies for that freeze frame, but in other news, a new system that targets to simplify and modernize insurance savings policy, empowering potential investors to effectively plan for education, home ownership, vehicle purchase, or even a holiday. Old Mutual Life Assurance Kenya Managing Director Laureen Makwanya enables customers to save and track the investment online when offering them insurance. Makwanya says the platform targets
most savings have been concentrated, particularly for the younger population, has been concentrated with the banks. With that, we have seen that there's a protection gap in terms of what other risks are young people or younger people exposed to and whether they manage those.
Further afield, the U.S. government is urgently rehiring nuclear safety staff of national security concerns. The layoffs, part of President Donald Trump's federal workforce cuts, affected the National Nuclear Security Administration, raising alarms about nuclear oversight. Here are the details of this and from other parts of the country, of the world.
Reports suggest that over 300 National Nuclear Security Administration employees were dismissed last week, though the Department of Energy disputes this. 50 were let go. The layoff, part of President Donald Trump's sweeping federal workforce cuts, included staff at nuclear weapon facilities. Efforts to reverse the terminations issues as many fired employees were locked out of their federal accounts. Despite this, the Trump administration is still pushing to slash government spending, facing multiple legal challenges along the way. Meanwhile, South Korea has officially banned new downloads of China's DeepSeek AI chatbot over concerns about personal data protection. South Korea's data watch will remain in place until the platform meets legal compliance standards. DeepSeek surged in popularity in South Korea, reaching over 1 million weekly users after making global headlines. However, it also sparked international scrutiny, with several countries imposing restrictions due to privacy and national security risks. Authorities continue to monitor developments as they push for stricter data protection measures. Finally, urged the international community to unite and revitalize global social development amid current challenges. Speaking at the UN's Commission for Social Development, Zheng highlighted the impact and the importance of this year's UN and World Summit anniversaries. He called for prioritizing development, enhancing public services, and leveraging technologies like artificial intelligence. Zheng emphasized tourism in achieving social progress.
Now, Kenya is facing potential power outages, voltage drops, and grid disruptions as reaches a record high of 2,316 megawatts as of February of 2025 against an available capacity of 2,300. Kenya Power Managing Director Joseph Sirol is urging the immediate lifting of the moratorium on electricity generation. He emphasizes that increasing generation capacity is crucial to restoring the reserve margin, which would cushion the grid against potential power disruptions.
Kenya's installed electricity 191 megawatts with an effective capacity of 3,030 megawatts. However, the current available capacity is 2,320 megawatts, just electricity peak demand of 2,316 megawatts. This marks a 12 megawatts of 2,304 megawatts recorded in mid last month. The narrow margin between peak demand and available capacity has intensified the push on boarding new electricity generation projects.
Plus, it should have been lifted like yesterday. I think you already see the razor thin margin that we have between that is the difference between our installed capacity and the latest peak.
Demand has surged by 200 megawatts over the last 2 years, with an average monthly increase of 14.5 megawatts in the last 8 months. Joseph Sirol highlights that in 2024 alone, the country recorded 7 new peak demand levels, triggering nationwide blackouts despite major stabilization and connectivity projects. To enhance grid stability, Kenya Electricity Transmission Company KETRACO has been investing in critical infrastructure of the Kimuka substation and the 33 kV double circuit interconnector between Narok and Bomet. Additionally, over 198,535 new customers have been connected to the national 6 months. With the rollout of Last Mile Phase 4 and 5, an additional 289,121 customers are expected. Electricity, further increasing demand on the grid. Wairi Mujenga for Lunchtime News.
And in sports, Kenya-1 golfer Michael Karanga jetted back into the country yesterday from Rwanda and went straight to St. Church to seek God's intervention ahead of the magical Kenya Open that will be held at Muthaiga Golf Club from the 20th to the 23rd of the
Kenya's Michael Karanga is hopeful of playing his best golf ever during the magical Kenya Open to be held later this week at Muthaiga Golf Club.
Last 2 years, I was in Rwanda, I was in Ghana, I was in UK, I was in South Africa, I was in Dubai. Whenever I go, I see gold.
Karanga played at Leopard Creek Golf Club in South Africa on 8th February. He finished second, but managed an 8th position in the finals.
When we have a tournament week in, week out is a good practice because I'm in that momentum of competing. So away for 2 weeks, playing golf, week in, week out, not resting. I think it is a good motivation and even good practice to go and play the magical Kenya.
He competed in the Rwanda Open, in which he finished top of the leaderboard. On his arrival back home, he, his family and friends took time to praise and worship God. Open starting this Thursday at Muthaiga Golf Club.
Karanga, tunakuombea ukienda Kenya Open utetee kikombe kutoka Muthaiga.
Michael of training, he's watched his diet, and I believe that he is very, very much ready. What is just required now is for him to focus. Be watching us on Sunday at the finals this time round.
Meanwhile, the Junior Golf Foundation has lined up 48 tournaments across the country in 2025 to attract more junior golfers to play and get ranking points. Foundation President Regina Gashora says there is more to come from the junior golfers, especially after the impressive result from the junior players at the Africa Amateur Golf Championship in South Africa earlier.
That the girls are playing much better golf than they have in the previous years, just showing progress year over year, that we are really, really growing the talent in the country and especially the elite talent. And if we continue in this, LPGA, LET will be able to have a really, really good crop of players coming through. We have the talent here, we're training them well, and they are able to showcase it in front of the rest of Africa.
3 juniors, Chanel Wangare, Bianca Ngechu, were part of Team Kenya, finishing 4th, 11th and 12th respectively.
And before we are done with the news, let's first of all cross over to the Deputy President resident at Karen, where the Health Summit is currently underway, that is bringing together the health stakeholders, including the...
Accurate. So Moses, thank you for being hands-on. And I know you would have wanted to talk today, but don't worry, you will talk in the next meeting. Who has talked for you? Abdul Swamad has talked. And pongezi Governor Nasir. I don't want to say we went to the same school with you, but at 50+%, it means every other county can. It's very possible. And there is no difference between governor for Mombasa and any other governor. So I think we should also challenge each other, benchmark from each other. This program is going to succeed. COG Chair, please come and close for us. I'm afraid we have to leave it there.
There.
Yes.
Say after your wrap-up, it suffices. All I'll say is
And Professor Kithure Kindiki, who is currently addressing the summit there, and his last one has been to the governors to also benchmark from other are doing different from others so that we may better the healthcare in the country. Just a quick reminder, he says all the government projects that were funded their way to ensure that there are no gaps in the wake of the U.S. withdrawing their support and their billions of dollars in regards to U.S. aid. Well, my name is Bentroy Njue, and Brian Muraru has been my colleague on the sign language interpretation. Remember, we have more news at 4, 7 and also 9, but you can keep yourself abreast with all the latest happening from KBC, including the latest from the world of sport on all. Don't forget to download and also check out our KBC digital app. Many thanks indeed for joining us. On behalf of everyone who has made this broadcast, Director Zipi Modoi, thank you so much indeed for joining us. See you later.
Will artificial intelligence revolutionize music streaming platforms like Spotify and Deezer? AI could not only suggest the perfect music, deliver podcasts in your native language. More on that in a moment. Plus, why are social networks doing so little to combat Russian propaganda in our feeds? And reasons why the antitrust affects us all. These are the topics that are moving the tech world. Music streaming services are really into AI.